Everyone, what is going on? What is going on? Welcome back to the Locked In Podcast, your hub for personal development tips, sports news, music, and much, much more. We are back, you guys, with episode 93 of the podcast, where tonight we're going to be talking with a very special guest on health and fitness. We're going to talk about online fitness coaching, personal training, a bunch of other stuff. Pleased to welcome to the podcast for the very first time, Matt Lee. Matt, what is going on, brother?
My man, dude, it's an honor. Seriously, guys, it is an absolute honor. So
absolutely, man. Thank you so much for coming on, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah, guys. So Matt is he's an online fitness coach, a personal trainer. He helps people also with competition, like prep and everything like that. Matt's involved. He's got about 60 clients he's working with currently, and then he has assistant coaches as well. So his brand is about 150 different clients right now. Yeah, it's awesome, man. I always love to kind of like see your content on Instagram, man. All the stuff that you're doing, man. I absolutely love it. So I was like, yo, man, let's set this up and like let's get this collab going.
Yeah, no, dude, I appreciate it, man. It's pretty crazy, dude. You know, at the end of the day, like this all has truly come from social. And I know the same thing for you guys as well, with being able to build this up, man. The power of social media is freaking crazy. So
it really is, man. It always has been the last I'd say 10 years, but then like with COVID and everything, man, it's just really like taking off and going even crazier.
Absolutely. Hey, nothing wrong with that though.
Nothing at all, man. With a negative thing comes a positive thing. You know what I mean? With a pandemic, comes something positive and an opportunity out of it. So, Yeah, man, that's awesome. Guys, we're gonna hop into it shortly. Before we do, we'll always introduce, as always, we're your co-host for the evening. I'm Steve Ushler, and joining alongside me is my co-host George Menchad. What's up, brother?
George right here. AKA G-Mac. What's up, guys? We're
What's
good
up,
to be
man?
back. It's gonna be a good episode, man.
Yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely. Guys, yeah, yes, sir, man. Like Matt says, make waves. I like the T-shirt too.
Dude, it's literally all I wear anymore, man. All I have anymore is Steve apparel.
Hey, man, it's funny, man. You see people like that'll have like their own, clothing brands, right? And then they'll be wearing like Ralph Lauren and Calvin Klein's. Like, hey, might as well support yourself and wear your brand.
Literally what I'm saying, man. I'm like, we got everything, all seasons. We got long sleeves, we got sweatshirts, we got freaking joggers. I'm like, you know what, dude? It's free marketing for us, of course. And I'm like, you might as well just get the freaking logo out there. So
exactly.
Why not, man? Why not?
Go, man. Why not? Exactly, man. I love that though.
Idea, bro. I love the idea, man. I love the supporting yourselves, and like people support you as well, and help others. That you build up the whole community, if you will, even like a YouTube community. I mean, obviously you're on social media, you're a well-known trainer, and we bring you in, bro. You bring us in, we all help each other, man.
Yeah, dude, that's the name of the game, man. Like literally, networking is like one of the things I realize is honestly the most important thing that you got. We ultimately can do. Being able to have these connections is freaking huge, right? Like it's funny because like now that I'm like getting, I can't call myself like a business professional in any way, shape, or form, right? Like I'm still freaking figuring shit out as I go. But I always laugh, man, because it's funny. You'll talk to people that have been in the game for a long time, and they're like being able to do things like this, like we're doing right now, doing the podcast, like being able to network like this is a very valuable thing.
It absolutely is, man. It absolutely is. It's priceless, man. It's like that's one of the best things about it. We'll hop into it shortly, guys. Basically, we're gonna be talking to Matt tonight. I'm gonna play like a little intro, but what we're gonna be talking to Matt tonight about is obviously we'll talk about his online coaching business, kind of maybe what kind of got him into it, personal training, because I know personal training is a word it's thrown out there a lot, but we'll dive into you being a hands-on, as a personal trainer. We can dive more into it. And
personal training is a big topic, but there's ways to do things, and I'm sure Matt has some cool stuff to talk about. And we want to hear about your journey, bro. And obviously, we'll kind of chime in and share some ideas. And as we can see right here, as probably Steve explained a bit on our forum, we have a lot of people that kind of view at once, and already people are commenting. We have William Plymouth, Bill Plymouth, a Facebook user. Sometimes, man, we can't tell exactly who the Facebook user is, but it's 9 times out of 10 is somebody we know, like obviously like a friend of ours that comments on the so.
Cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All eyes are on us now. Like it's glass camera action,
Yes, sir. Yes,
absolutely.
Sir.
So, guys, I'm just gonna play the brief intro, and then we'll get into the content. And I don't want to waste any time. We'll dive right into it. So,
jump right into it.
See you, gentlemen, on the other side. All right, guys, as we said, I see some people have kind of joined in and kind of came in since the the little intro right there. So, guys, welcome to the podcast, episode 93 of the Locked In Podcast. And as I kind of said before, we're going to be talking to special guest Matt Lee tonight. Matt's a online fitness coach, personal trainer, master of many trades in the health and fitness industry. And we're going to talk to him tonight about his journey. We'll get into all the health and fitness stuff. It's going to be interesting. Guys, before we hop into it, real quick, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, smash the like button. It really, really helps the channel on YouTube, and it also helps the Facebook page as well. If you see something you like or you want to chime in with any comments, we always appreciate your feedback. So feel free to drop some comments in a live stream, whether it's on YouTube or Facebook. Also, guys, just sit back, relax, enjoy the podcast. It's 2022. Be true and be you. All right, guys. Hey, all right. So we'll hop into it here, man. So Matt, man, just again, thank you for joining us. And I guess we can start. On the what kind of got you into like the the health and fitness industry, man. Being a personal trainer and online fitness coach. What was your reason for kind of getting started with all that?
So, dude, this goes back to like high school days, man.
Yeah.
My dad was a big gym guy. He played football in college, so he definitely had I would say a solid history of like working out. And I was always competitive in sports. I played ice hockey, I wrestled, I played lacrosse. So he knew, for sure, like, the gym side of things for sure is going to help with like, being a competitive athlete. So back in middle school, he made our garage like a little bit of a home gym and started showing me the ropes a little bit. And honestly, I really started falling in, love with the entire process then. I thought it was, I had no idea what I was doing. He was showing me the ropes and all that, but kind of started falling in love with, the overall mechanics that go into training and the kind of you versus you, mentality that goes into it as well. So fast forward all throughout high school, finally, joined a gym, got in retro fitness my sophomore year when I was finally able to do so. Because I think you had to be like 16 years old to join a gym without like a parent to be there. So, as soon as it happened, we joined the gym. Never looked back, man. So I just, again, took off even more once I joined the gym, just even more so fell in love with the process. Continued all throughout college. And the fun part was in college is when I was introduced to bodybuilding. I had no idea about competitions. I had no idea about the men's physique division that I ended up competing in and just fell in love with. One of the professors at my university, Eastern University, right by Villanova, actually, she was like this super well-known, like Olympia. If you don't know what that is, like Olympia is like the highest level you can go for competing. Yeah. Super well-known in that, like a lot of top 5 finishes there her entire career. She approached me one day just because she knew that I was like this big gym rat. She was like, hey, like, I see you in there busting your ass all the time. She's like, there's actually something that you can do if you want to take this to the next level on this competing side of things. So I was like, yeah, absolutely. I'll give it a try. So her husband actually coached me and really showed me the ropes for competing for the first like 3 years. And during this time, I bought a little camera and I started documenting my entire journey on Instagram, on YouTube especially. And again, if you guys would ask me back then, would I be doing what I do now? I would have no idea. Like, absolutely not. I didn't think any of this would be possible. And I had really no desire to help people back then. I just was in this. I was in this for me. I was just doing this for me. I just loved training. I loved like I said, the you versus you kind of, mentality that went into this all. But as I started documenting this, I had a ton of people reach out, asking me for help, for advice, for workouts, for the nutritional side of things. And I fell in love with being able to be able to help people. Like, I just found so much fulfillment in that. And again, I didn't expect this at all. I never thought this would turn into this. But at that point I was like, I truly believe there's a calling behind, what I'm doing and being able to help people. And it got to the point, we were able to build a very successful business out of it so far. So it's been a crazy ride, man, but it's just, more so just kind of following a passion and just running with it. So
man, I absolutely love that. You could tell, like, when you talk to somebody, when somebody's really, passionate about like what they do, and I can tell your energy and your passion behind it. That's awesome. Like, just getting started, you're like the first time, you ever stepped foot in the gym. It's just like, you just felt that call and you felt that energy. And that's actually really funny that you started at Retro. I started working out at Retro when I was 18, my first gym ever. I was there for like eight or 9 years before they closed the one at Welcome Boulevard in Philly.
Yep.
Closed it.
Yeah, dude, they've been closing them down left and right. I don't know what happened. The one that I originally went to, because I still live like in my hometown, so that one closed down. That was like the saddest day ever. I was like, man, I had so many roots here. Come on.
And you're in Jersey. What restaurant in Jersey was that?
It was the Retro Fitness in Cherry Hill. The smallest gym I've probably ever been to in my life.
Oh yeah,
that's funny, man. Yeah, they've been closing them all down, man. Franklin Mills, Philly Mills, they closed that one a while back, and now I even think the one in Levittown's now closed as well. It's like it's horrible.
Remember those guys? The Bally's used to be the Bally's. It became LA Fitnesses, and then Retro started out of business. Blink is still cool, and Edge Fitness. I actually went to Edge one time up on a County Line. That's such a good one. I'm not gonna lie, I like to go there again possibly, but Planet Fitness took off about 10 years ago. 11 years ago.
Yeah, no, Edge is blowing up. Crunch, I know, and Pennsylvania is big. We're starting to get them in Jersey right now. But yeah, and then LA Fitness went to East Sporta. Fusion, we don't. Actually, no, I've seen a lot of people posting about Fusion. I think they got an outdoor area now. I personally have never been there.
They're building one apparently.
It looks sick.
Yeah, man. I saw they got something with like so I follow the guy who owns it. His name's Tony. Yeah, they built like a whole space out back where it's like a lounge area. They got an outdoor gym, a basketball court, like all different types of stuff going on. I see it on their social media. That's the power of social media, man. You learn. It was like a big grand opening, man. People, they had it hyped up like before. I think they just opened it Saturday in that back area. But man, the power of social media. Just
guys.
It's incredible thing.
I want to add one more thing about that real quick. It's just like, for example, like, all right, let's just take your example, man. Like, say like 2 years ago, maybe you didn't have as many followers, but you were somewhat of like a star in your own sort of community. Like, they know you work out, you do some, running, you rest a little, play lacrosse, some MMA, or whatever the case, you stay in shape. You put something out there, bro, you do it, you'd be surprised, like, if you put like the event and you do it ahead of time and you market it well, keyword, you know how to market it. People show support, even if, you feel like your people just look at your story but don't really support. You'd be surprised who actually sometimes supports you, like friends of friends. But it's important to maintain some, kind of relationship or friendship, or at least, people looking at your IG often because you do stories, and then when you have a grand opening and you post everything, people comment and they'll show up. So I mean, social media is definitely very powerful, and that's all. TikTok is becoming the next thing. I mean, TikTok is where videos live now.
Yeah,
YouTube, but
it's the truth, man. Like I always joke around about this too, because I feel like I have more. I don't want to call them fans because I feel like that's a little weird to say, but I feel like I have more fans and supporters than like my own friends that I've known for years that support me. It's funny to say that, but because back on the day when I was like very active on YouTube, like before I had to kind of fully focus on building the business, dude, we were doing meetups and stuff like that, like all over the place. Like I was going to Texas, and wherever I did my bodybuilding shows, I would be like, hey guys, I'm going to be at this location. Like, feel free to come meet up. Dude, total strangers come to this place. Like it's crazy. The support when you put yourself out on social media and you're actually, yourself and being, your true self, people fully respect it, man, and they buy into it. So
exactly,
you're right about that, man.
People relate to that. People relate to that, and that's the thing. When you're being your honest and true self, your vulnerable self, people can relate to that, and people respect that. I really feel that when you're being transparent, people can tell. Mm-hmm. Definitely, man. One of the things I love about your content, man, is like I'll see on Instagram you always like are telling people, like especially like I always see your videos like around like the holidays, like 4th of July and stuff, how people worry so much when they don't want to plan for a little bit. I always see your videos like it's like people are so worried about like a bad weekend or something like that, and then you're just so real with it that it's like, guys, don't be afraid that like a ton of progress. I saw one of your videos before, like is gonna diminish just from a bad weekend. You know what I mean? Like it's You keep it honest, you keep it real. Whereas like, not all coaches do, you know what I mean? I love that, man. When I see some of your videos, man, some of your content.
Progress. Yeah, for sure, man.
Like that's a big thing too. Like you said, man, like being real and like being fully transparent, I feel like has really helped us get this business to where it's at today. Just because, like I said, dude, I've been through the ringer of everything when it comes to, of course, like the fitness side of things, like, being able to compete and get down to that extremely low body fat percentage to, to do well up on stage. And it's one of those things, man, like I feel like there's a false, I would say, expectation in kind of, going about to the getting shredded and like making progress when it comes to this, all that people think they can't go out with friends. They can't go get, a few drinks. They can't go to a happy hour. But dude, it's just so far from the case. It is so freaking far from the case. So, and I always laugh, dude, because like I'll have people that will message me after they see videos like that. They're like, "Are you freaking serious? Like, I really can, yada yada yada." I'm like, "Yes." I'm like, "You guys, like, this is a freaking marathon sprint. Like a few days off the plan to relax." And I always say, make memories, not macros. It's a very valuable thing.
I like that. Yeah, man. Essentially rewiring the way we were taught, the way we think, man. It's like it's a thing. And I like a guy like you who's been around it, so you've seen it, man. I'm sure you know because like you prep to be on stage and stuff like that. You can see the body changes. You experiment with different things, and you're like, a bad weekend's not going to destroy me. You know what I mean? You learn it from experience,
and
things like that.
That's what people think, unfortunately. And
cool.
Matt, it's so funny you say that because I've seen it a lot. Like I remember I used to know this kid in my old job. This kid in Pomazoni. He was really built, like really big.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, I heard some rumors that allegedly it took us on steroids. Allegedly, I mean, I don't want to say, because obviously, I don't want to twist the truth around. But I was like, I mean, I never seen that. So I mean, as far as I'm concerned, he just goes out and works out a lot.
Yeah.
And my boy L, he told me that he's one of the dudes that if you tell him, dude, you drink a soda today and it's Friday and you're at work and you miss the workout, he'll literally work and leave his job and go right to the gym after that and work out and try to get it all done. And I'm like, well, wow, that's a good attitude to have in some ways, to be really proper and very committed, very disciplined. A little bit like a David Goggins type time, like me and Steve was talking about. At the same time, like you said, it's nothing wrong if you missed one workout, but if you can kind of make it back, if you know that like you took care of something really important in the day, because we have a life and we have a gym commitment life. It's a commitment to keep our body in shape and to help others even better. Like I actually want to talk to you about this stuff even behind the scenes, because I'm actually kind of still on the verge of like going back for my channel, because I started, but I didn't finish the program. I'm gonna go for my like to get like a get certified as like a personal instructor, personal trainer for some stuff. I do martial arts. I do a lot of stuff anyway, so I do train people. I've trained them in the past with fitness. I was just train somebody more recently too, a few clients. So but I mean, obviously, talking to you would teach me a lot about the whole thing of business. But I mean, yeah, definitely something I'm interested in.
Yeah, no, dude, 100%, man. I'm glad you said that too, because I this is something that I live by. This is something I literally preach to literally all of our clients is we want to have that progress, not perfection mindset, when it comes to this all. Just because, like you said, man, with with your buddy that you mentioned, like if you're constantly driven by that perfection mindset, you can't miss a workout, you can't miss a cardio session, you can't screw up on your diet, it's going to drive you crazy and it's not sustainable. And, this is, again, life in general is going to be, you have to play the long game. That's especially true when it comes to this process. So we always preach that just because, again, you want to be able to enjoy life. You want to make sure like it's going to be a good balance between the fitness life side of things and also the social life side of things. So being able to strive to progress daily and try to stay consistent, just like all things in life, honestly, not even fitness related, is what's going to carry you to the finish line. So.
Absolutely, man. That's one of the things. Like, I feel like if you think of it like George, like the way your friend was kind of thinking of like working out, it becomes more like a chore. And you start to resent the process as much. Whereas if you make it like a lifestyle decision, you're able to just enjoy your life. Where you're going to enjoy it more. You're going to look forward to it more. I think that's the biggest thing is, when it comes to working out, some people, they look at it as a chore. Like, and that's the mindset. Like, I really don't want to work out today. It's like when you look at it as like a lifestyle decision, and it's like you can enjoy your life while, working out. It's not going to, you don't have to be like super strict like that. It's more sustainable. You're not going to have many bumps in the road, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, that's the key word, man. We always preach that sustainability is absolutely key when it comes to this process. Absolutely key.
Yep.
Exactly, man. Exactly. So, man, let me ask you: when it comes to personal training, I know it's a word that tons of people throw around. What goes in, man? Just walk us through. Like, I know you have like client check-ins, everything else with online coaching, like personal training, man. What goes into that?
So I want to start here because I feel like personal training and online coaching is two different things for sure. Because like I used to do when I hear personal training, I definitely think it's more like in gym, like you're going to be one-on-one in gym with that individual. Sure. And I've done that too. It wasn't my bread and butter just because, and I will be honest about this. I personally feel like with the in-gym personal training sessions, I didn't go to school for this. Like I just. When I started online coaching, I would have people like, hey, could we meet up in a gym? And I did get all my personal training certifications and stuff like that to be, have those credentials to be able to do this. I just want to say that too. But, you go into the gym with that individual for, 30 minutes or 60 minutes, however long they want to be with you. And, you put them through a good workout. You show them the proper mechanics, technique, and so forth. But I've noticed it was so much difficult to really be able to help that individual because once they leave that gym with you, what they did the other 6 days, potentially even longer than that, they weren't together with you. You have no idea, right? So that's what really kind of grinded my gears when I was like, also in gym personal training, because I was like, I fully want to do online coaching. Of course, like I was able to scale it more, which is a beautiful thing, but I had everything covered for that individual, right? I had their workouts covered. I gave them workouts. I was able to give them help with nutrition side of things, with being able to provide macros and teach that approach. So it was a more, I would say, well-rounded approach that we had every single avenue covered. So I just wanted to, again, if you have any questions about that too, I'll be happy to clarify. But I just feel like people hear like personal training, online coaching, and I know it's a little confusing. But online coaching, man, in regards to being able to solely do everything online through the freaking computer and like your phone and the app is pretty crazy. But does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely, man. That was honestly a solid breakdown. It was it makes complete sense. Yeah, so it's the whole that's awesome, man. Yeah, I feel like with the online coaching, you can check in with people daily, so that makes complete sense. It's like, yeah, because you work out with someone 1 day a week, you realistically don't, like you said, you don't know what they're doing 6 days, and I feel like having someone there every day to hold you accountable and to help build you up and help you grow.
It's huge.
To help you push them more.
It's
like
huge.
Just having like little texts every single, like things to hold you accountable. That's very, very important, and I feel like that's a driving force that'll keep you motivated, and keep you disciplined. You know what I mean? Knowing you got somebody in your corner.
They make you stay on your toes. I like that idea too, bro. But yeah, like online or in person too. Obviously, when you got big and you have so much time, it's not so much you can do. So online might be quicker. Yeah. But you gotta, people also gotta try to see. You only teach yourself. If you not do some push-ups, some workouts at home, it's like if I'm teaching somebody techniques about fighting or about like techniques about like how to lift, you got to do it on your own to practice them, because once or twice a week is not enough realistically. Sometimes a week for story. Twice.
It's the truth, man. Like you said, like that was a problem I was running into too. I had a few clients that only would train once per week just with me. And I'm like, hey man, like I highly, highly, highly recommend that you come here more, not just to see me, but start working out on your own and start doing more cardio on your own. And they're like, nah, like I'll see you next week. And I'm like, I know they leave the doors, and I'm like, oh, all right, well, this guy is not going to make any progress. But like with the online coaching, I like you said, that communication is there, that accountability is there. Like they have a calendar, that we have an app that we have for all of our clients, and they have a calendar. It looks like their iPhone calendar. Like I have things assigned to them every single day. Well, not every single day, because some people like the weekends off, but everyone's going to be different. But we have that daily, of course, accountability in play, like you mentioned, which is key. In personal training, again, I give people credit that for sure, like, that is that's their career and that's their livelihood. But it was just tough for me to see that, man. Like just people just walking out of the door, and I'm like, well crap. Like I don't know what else I could do for this person. So it was tough, dude.
It's the mindset. It's like, what can I do to help this person more? And like that's where online coaching kind of came into your mind, and it works out perfect that way. And another thing, I always like your preaching, man. I know you said, don't worry. There's going to be times where you're going to have bad check-ins. Like I feel like a lot of people probably worry about that. If I had to guess what online coaching, they don't want to be embarrassed. They don't want to show up like feeling like they have a bad check-in. It's like these things happen. Life happens, to be honest. And I feel like people, is that something that happens? Like you'd say, probably, people worry a lot about bad check-ins.
Dude, it happens every week, man. Every single week. And it's funny too, because like, and again, I literally love everyone that we have on the team. Like we really are a family here with this community. And like it's the same song and dance. I tell people this like every single week. I'm like, hey, you're gonna have bad check-ins, and people do, right? Just because there's so many factors that go into to check-ins, right? And how we do that online, because I know that you mentioned this earlier, is we have one check-in day per week, and it's going to be different for every single individual, but they'll step on the scale for us first thing in the morning, upload their weight into the app. They'll take progress photos, which is absolutely key. They'll send those to us as well. And we have a check-in form that goes over like other feedback markers, like their sleep situation, their stress situation, how much water they're typically drinking throughout the day. And like, again, a ton of other questions. So the funny thing is people can have the best check-in in the world. Like I'll look at progress photos and I'm like, holy crap, like there's significant changes coming through, and their weight will be up, and that individual will be so freaking pissed. But it's just because people are always caught up on the scale. They're always caught up on that number. So like literally a week doesn't go by where I'll see significant changes either coming through in progress photos. I'll see significant changes coming through in regards to like strength increases in the gym, cardio is getting easier for that individual. The individual literally will tell me that they're noticing clothes are fitting differently, like little things like that. I'm like, this is great progress. but the scale will be up a little bit. And they're like, oh my God, I'm done. Like they're so frustrated about it.
Yeah.
So and it's funny, man. It's just people are caught up in that number. But yeah, dude, it's every single week. And the crazy thing is there's so many factors and variables that go into these check-ins in regards to like a lot of females. You know, if it's their time of month, they're gonna have a crazy check-in. Hormones are all over the place. Their weight's gonna be up, the bloat's gonna be in play, it's gonna be crazy. You know, for anyone else, right? If you eat or drink a little bit later in the day before you go to bed, you know, before your check-in day, that's going to screw things up. If you slept like crap the night before your check-in day, it's going to screw things up, right? I can go on and on. So there's so many factors and variables that things have to kind of fall in line perfectly to produce and more so have your body in the best position to have a good check-in. But yeah, dude, it's funny, man, because I wish I can send that video to people that I filmed on Instagram, because I'm like, this is literally this could be you, and you have to be ready for it. You got to weather that storm.
Absolutely, and that's the thing as old as time. People are always so worried about the number on the scale, where it's
Dude,
like
it's
it is, and that's the thing. Like everybody, if you look at someone, you could look at someone that's like 200 pounds and they're a certain height, and then somebody is 200 pounds another certain height. Everybody's body is like built different too. So you could be you could have a weight at a certain. You could be like losing body fat, but you could be like gaining muscle, and then at the same time, you know, your weight could be a certain level, and then yeah, exactly. But it's like you actually see the physical transformation in the progress photos. It's like people are just worried about that number, but you could be at a different type of 200 pounds than you were prior to the progress that you're making. You know what I mean? Your body's going to look a little bit different.
Yeah, no, dude, it's the truth, man. Because like that's called body recomp, right? Like when we have someone in the position that we're able to drop their body fat, but their weight actually goes up for multiple reasons. They always freak out. But it's funny because I show them the progress photos. I'm like, yo, we're literally seeing changes. And I always ask them too. I'm like, do you care more about where you weigh, like weight wise, or would you rather have a better physique, right? And they'll always be like, yeah, I'd rather have a nicer physique. And I'm like, well, that's what we're doing. I'm like, do not stress about the scale. It's such a small tool in the overall process.
Right. That makes so much sense, man. You kind of that's back to the point where people results and they get like they're kind of all over the place. Kind of curious, okay, well, do you want this done fast or well?
Yep.
Or sort of like in a crushing, beautiful way, like, you know, you gotta be perfect. You gotta do this, do that. You know what I mean? But that's the whole thing. I mean, when it becomes like a lifestyle, man, it becomes more fun. But somebody that helps you definitely, you know, could get you in there. Because I have people to help me. I got a personal trainer, someone like yourself, for free once, because he was doing martial arts with me, and we became cool like that. And I met a couple guys like that. But like I said, man, I mean, sometimes I'll put on some extra water weight. Recently, I took an extra a break. I didn't eat sugars for like a whole week almost, and I saw results. But today I ate 3 cookies. Like I just couldn't.
Dude, cookie gains are the best gains, man.
Yeah, I try to do my best. We got a comment that Steve just posted. I mean, just to put on screen. Off topic a bit, but what would you recommend for someone that has a crazy lifestyle but still wants to start going to the gym? Well, I mean, first of all, what do you mean by crazy lifestyle? Like what kind of busy?
I know this person. It's actually Desiree, and she's actually a flight attendant. So she's traveling a lot. So Matt, do you have any recommendations for that off the top of your head?
What I would recommend for her, and I know this might be like, of course, like a little difficult if she's going to be, you know, with the flight attendant schedule. But Desiree, what I would recommend for you to do is like literally, and this is something we usually recommend for a lot of people that have like a crazier work life kind of schedule and so forth, is on Sunday, look to see what your schedule looks like for the week ahead, right? In regards to what days you're going to be working and most likely not able to get to the gym, and then what days you will be able to get to the gym. So either the days that you aren't working, or maybe you have some more time, you know, before or after work, to get to the gym, right? Because it's one of those things, if you just go in there with no plan, it's going to be a mess. But if you go in there and you can somewhat plan your days for that week and be like, hey, I'm able to get to the gym at least 3 days this week. You know, I got 1 off day. I got 2 days where work's not too bad. I'm able to get there before or after work. That's going to be your best bet. And then from there, you can figure out what you want to do workout wise. We actually have a few flight attendants on the team, and we typically give them a lot of body weight, only HIIT workouts to do. So the high intensity interval training workouts, because like they only take like 20 minutes. Just because, again, if you're going to be traveling from, you know, state to state, I know sometimes in between you're going to be in a hotel room. And sometimes the hotels don't have a gym, or like it's so late, and sometimes the hotel gym's going to be closed. So I would also look into doing that too. I mean, I'll be more than happy to provide some workouts for you as an example. I'm not too sure how we can do that, but I'm sure Steven can explain, you know, can hook me out with that. But honestly, too, with that too, Desiree, if you can just find some stuff online, like body weight workouts that you can do, if you're going to be traveling and you need something quick, like that's going to be a great thing for you to do as well. Hope that helps.
Yeah, definitely good idea.
Awesome, man. Awesome explanation. Yeah, no, if Desiree, I'll have her reach out to me if she needs if she wants additional like workouts so that we could set it up. And man,
yeah,
I'll
please.
provide everything.
Yeah, no, dude, I love the flight attendants because they always check in from different states. Like when we do their check-in days every single week. So I'm like, where are you at now? They're like, oh, I'm in Hawaii. And I'm like, you son of a bitch. I'm like,
It's like,
hate you, man.
lucky you.
I hate it, dude. Good. I love flying. I love traveling. So I'm always so jealous when I touch base with them. I'm like, where are you at right now? They're like, I'm actually here. I mean, they're only there for a short period of time, but they get to go out and about and do things. I'm like, that's freaking awesome. So
yeah, man, absolutely. I love traveling too, man. That's awesome. Yeah. So great question, and then great follow-up answer as well, man. So one thing I wanted to ask you, man, because I've always been kind of curious, and I've never really asked anyone. Since you were on stage at some point, man, what is like the mentality, the mindset, like, man, the mentality, the process of going through like prep, the whole prep process, man, for when you step on stage. And I saw your picture, man. You look phenomenal.
Thank you.
What's the mindset, man? Like, what is it like to go through that?
Dude, there's honestly nothing like it. And it's crazy too. It's addicting. And I feel like I'm crazy in the head to say that, but it is honestly one of the most challenging things that I've ever done in my life. But I loved every single second of it. Just because, like, and again, like I said, it comes back to the you versus you mentality. It was literally, I wasn't up there to compete against the other guys, just because at the end of the day, I hate to say this, but competing is very political. A lot of people know judges and, organizations. So you had to go in there and, of course, like, hey, you're not going to be able to, what's up?
Yeah. It's always those things like the politics, like, little like favoritism and, small things you said, things that kind of can compromise or limit things, unfortunately make it hard.
Yeah, no, that was a tough pill to swallow once I got deeper into this all. But at the end of the day, I was like, I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this, of course, to be able to build this business too, because it was definitely a good piece in that. But yeah, dude, it's the most challenging thing, man. Like, I know I was just saying, like, you shouldn't have that perfection mindset just because it's not sustainable. But I had to have that mindset. Like, I sacrificed a lot. I didn't, my wife now, but my girlfriend back then at the time, Taylor, God bless her. We did no date nights. We literally did no activities because I was always exhausted. Like, I never went out with my family to get food just because I had to stay regimented to my meal plan and my nutrition. And I couldn't miss a workout. I had to get my 2 cardio sessions in a day. It was a full-time job, man. But like I said, it taught me a lot about myself. And, I'd love that too, because like a lot of the things that I learned back then, like in regards to like the self-responsibility, the challenge, kind of, perseverance in regards to pushing through, this helps so much with being able to build like this business too. So like I owe a lot to the competing side of things. But yeah, man, it like, I'll be honest, it sucked at times. It definitely sucked. A lot of sacrifice, but I wanted to change a thing.
Man, that's
of course,
dude, beautifully said. No, that makes a lot of sense, man. It's like, we all want to come in first place, but at the end of the day, the journey that you learn about yourself along the way, and you're doing it because you love to do it. You love fitness. You're passionate about it. I could imagine, like, I could have kind of guessed that it was super shit because when you're in prep, it's completely different to when you're making a sustainable work. You're every single day, your life and sustainability completely different than when you're in prep.
Yeah, no, dude, it was crazy, man. Like, I look back at it now because I always joke that I retired my board shorts, but I'm like, I'm getting the itch again. Like, I really. Dude, it's addicting, man. Like, there really is nothing. There's nothing like it. Like, to be able to do that and like put all that hard work in and get up on stage and just be in the spotlights for like, dude, you're up there for 5 minutes. Like, it's so funny. Like, you do this for 5 months and you're only up on stage for like 5 to 10 minutes. But
yeah,
again, like you said, man, you learn so much about yourself during those months of prepping. So
you see what you're made of, and it's almost like you kind of cut away a different way. Like, if I could just add something, my friend Charles, he's been in the podcast before. Maybe we'll bring him back. Maybe we can do an episode with a bunch of of our fitness friends. He had another friend of ours named Phil Tribble, like triple, like the Tribble. So Phil's a bodybuilder, so is Charles. But Phil, he's like big black and white guy. My man Phil, he was telling me that, like, if you want to get into this, even if you compete, said if you want to say like because they do their little like exhibitions like before the show, but it's like a mock thing. They go in a room and go like this and see each other. And then he told me, like, if you want to come in there and see what you had, he said, but it's like, all you got to do, basically, you eat, like, take off some carbs, like, eat pasta one day, or eat bread one day, you already know. Definitely a little the sweets a little bit. I mean, especially in competition. Now, in my case, obviously, I was not competing, at least not for bodybuilding. I just want to, hang out with bodybuilders, but I was working out with them, and I felt my muscles, dude. just push-ups and tying up like this, bro, like tying ups like that. Oh my god, dude! And you tie up a certain way, you breathe slow, your body tenses up like you're like in a box at the bottom of the ocean with grenade in it with the fucking, what do you call it, like asphalt, and you get crushed. I was like, oh jeez, it was amazing.
It is crazy.
And right, and Steve, it's actually before I was training some of my more recent clients in them, right? So when I was doing that, right, I was training somebody on my own, but then when I go there, I was training with those guys, and it's like I saw my body like get a little different. And actually, I think I kind of gained a little weight, but good weight though, like actual a solid 6-pound muscle weight. It was getting cut up and built like the best of both worlds. Around that time, it was actually April to like maybe June, and it's around that time, I was training this one girl to do some self-defense and all that. So that's kind of like a few times I'd train, work out with her, and then do my own thing. But when I wasn't with her, I would just do my own thing. I would join those guys because they basically live in the gym. This guy named Charles Deschel, he does capoeira, and he's a bodybuilder, and Phil Treble. But they're both like, they've been to the old Fusion Powerhouse since back in the day. But I think you heard that the old Powerhouse became Fusion, and Fusion sold that particular location. Now there's only one on Grand, because like Steve said earlier, the guy Tony that owns it, I guess he wasn't making enough money, so he sold it, which sucks for me because I have only one location instead of two. I don't have that choice of choosing where I want to go. I love having options. The options are a beautiful thing.
Yeah, absolutely are, man. Absolutely are.
Bro. So, I remember that a little bit. So, I mean, it's kind of cool. It takes a lot of time and focus, a lot of mental, training your mind, be stable with your weight and your workouts, It takes a lot of balls to like eat for days, to be able to like eat small meals and prep yourself. And same thing with fighting. You got to cut weight. It's the hardest part, man. I'm not gonna lie. It sucks to eat, but you got to do what you got to do to make that weight.
Dude, that's the thing, man. It's what you got to do. What you got to do. Like that's the best thing you got to kind of can say to sum it up, really.
Fuck it up and go for it. You got to just toughen it up, bro.
Very inspiring. I knew someone who's an IFBB pro, and he's been on stage multiple times. His name's Frank, and he said one of the best parts when it's all over, being able to have that first meal, that first real meal, real food.
Cool.
Dude, it's incredible, man. But it's sad too because I don't make the mistake anymore, but like, and this is something that's like, I wish they talked more about when it came to competing, but like, dude, you'll have that first meal because your body's so deprived, so depleted. So you have that first meal, you have that first sip of water, and you blow up like a freaking tick, man. It's dude, like you'll put on like 30 pounds in a night if you're not careful. It's crazy. It is freaking crazy. But it's the most delicious things, man. It's funny too because I crave breakfast foods like pancakes and eggs, which I know they're not. That's like, I want to classify that as unhealthy because I know people get pizza and burgers and like fries and wings. But dude, I just go get some Reese's pancakes with some cheesy eggs, bro, and call it a day, man. Like that's what I'm missing.
A good old salad, bro. Pasta.
Me and you think alike.
I feel you, man. I feel the same way too because I'm not gonna lie, dude. I was telling Steve. I remember like a few of my ex-girlfriends would go to get breakfast all the time, and it's almost like when you're in a relationship to go get breakfast is a good way to go get breakfast. But I never thought that breakfast was that bad as far as like completely killing your cardio, your nutrition and all that. I mean, it depends what you're eating, but some grits and eggs and something in the morning. The trick is to get up early in the morning, meditate a little, breathe, get some water, do some push in the house, do a workout, go to breakfast, and do another workout. You'll be fine. You can even I think they're thinking a little like not as clean a little bit. If you do your workouts, it's to be okay. Because I did it during resting season and I ate a little bit because one time I just couldn't do it. I just could not make the weight. I ate. I had screwed up, but guess what? I ran for like 3 hours later. Like I kept putting. This is the days of CD players and all back in the mid 2000s. I would, put on my shit and then just run. Have like my CD player. I cut 10 pounds in like 2.5 days. And it was a lot of sweat. And of course, I didn't know shit about saunas. Even jacuzzi can cut some weight, or running in place. I would run with like a tennis ball to squeeze the ball to make your arms stronger. You wrestle too, so you know how that is. Like weight.
Yeah, dude. I was gonna say, man, I would literally be on the treadmill in a hot room with a freaking trash bag. Like my dad would.
For sure.
Bro. And then he would turn the shower on, like to make our bathroom a sauna. It was just, it was all water weight I was losing.
Sweat to make it humid. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You've been through the fire. See, and it's funny, man, because they say it, bro. It's just kind of fun cliche a little, but I think Carl Gotch said it. Dan Gable said it. If you wrestle, everything else is easy in life. So it doesn't matter if you do pro wrestling, MMA, bodybuilding. If you wrestle, life is just easy after that.
Yeah, no, dude, and that's what I tell people, man. When people ask me what it's like, I was like, the people that wrestle, I'm like, it literally is like wrestling. Like the strenuous activity and like what went into making weight and being able to function on what we had to do to cut weight that's exactly what it is, man. Exactly.
Yeah, bro. Oh my God, dude, you're making me like feel back like in high school, man. I'm getting like nostalgia here. I got the goosebumps. It used to be just like that.
It's crazy.
People will never dig it, right? Real quick, someone's on this topic for a quick second. They'll never dig it that you come home you got so much schoolwork, you're so crushed, your mind does not want to do anything, and you still somehow got to do your work. And
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you fuck up, dude, you will get off like the team. I mean, the practice is one thing, but they won't let you go to meets and in the matches, and in a not games, but in a tournament and a match. We call it meets because it's not really a game; it's like a meet. But
yeah,
because I remember, and the worst is going to go to schools and you wrestle, you come back home. But practice was brutal. I mean, I would lose at least 4 pounds. Well, all of us would cut 5-6 pounds. It's a given. In any wrestling practice on a mat, you will lose 5 pounds. I mean,
yeah, but dude, they would turn the heat on.
The running, the wrestling, all that, you know.
I was gonna say, where I went to high school, that the coach would turn the freaking heat on in the wrestling room, and I'm like, this can't be safe.
Where did you go to high school? If you don't mind me asking.
Cherry Hill East.
Cherry Hill East. Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah, we were a pretty solid program, but yeah, it was pretty funny, man. I remember some days like this dude would freaking just crank the heat on in this room. I'm like, holy shit, man. I was like, I don't know how he got control of a single, because like, dude, usually school's heating systems like one thermostat, but I'm like, somehow this dude got control. I don't know if he like hardwired the room or something, but I'm like, shit, man.
my coach did that once, and he made us going up to the steps, and he gave us an extra 10 instead of 20. We did 30 steps. Put the heater up because of the reason that actually, like you said, it wasn't that some guys a little heavy, so we did it. Usually they'll turn it on a little, but not like as much. And then when we use the weight room, we will wrestle. Imagine wrestling with the heater. I mean, all that heat.
Dude, it was
in the winter, usually fall winter, but still, I mean. It could be cold. It could be freezing outside. Inside, it's like 100 degrees. You're like, oh, geez. You're in the school, in the auditorium. I mean, the gym or one of the resting rooms, training centers. Yeah. Where did you go to high school? In New Jersey, you said?
Yeah, Cherry Hill East. I was born and raised in Cherry Hill, and in Cherry Hill we had Cherry Hill West and Cherry Hill East as the public school. So I was on the east side technically.
Nice. Okay. I got a cousin out there. A couple of friends of ours out in Cherry Hill.
It's good spot.
Little change of topic. I'm not sure if you'd be able to answer this, Matt, but it's Vanita kind of commented and she said, "What do you recommend to lower your body's pH on the acidic side?" I'm not sure if you have any answer for that.
So I would need a little bit more detail, but typically if you're trying to reduce your like acidic levels, it comes down to, and again, there's a lot that goes into it. It could be on the drinking side of things, it could be on the food side of things, but typically caffeine and alcohol raise like your overall acidic side of things. So I usually, because again, this is something that we see from clients from time to time. So it's usually caffeine. Caffeine is usually very bad. So again, it comes down to Vanita, like what she's consuming, if she is consuming a lot of caffeine. But processed food too. Processed foods are another one. Sometimes a lot of people are sensitive to. So that is usually another culprit that when we reduce that from clients that we work with, and focus more on whole foods base and also focus on overall caffeine consumption, things usually start to work out a little bit better. So those are the big three: alcohol, caffeine, and processed foods to reduce overall the acidic side of things. That hopefully that's helpful. But I think that's what she was trying to entail with the question.
Wow, very interesting stuff because it's so funny, man. Like I said, you're dropping gems like in everything you're saying, bro. It's like a gem damn time. This is like
I'm trying, man.
Now you're doing good, bro. But yo, check this out. One of my boys, Steve knows him too. My one friend, his name is his nickname is Cozy, but he's actually a good excellent chef. He's telling me that like sometimes he said, we eat like regular like the veals and all that. Like we eating good food and all, it's decent, but it's from like some people even shop like Walmart, but it's like ShopRite, Bell's Corner. I mean, like Save-A-Lot and all that. Instead, we should be going to like wholesales and like Trader Joe's because wholesale foods, bro, it's like, and he gave me the smallest, weirdest analogy, like chickens or like some small animals, like calves and all that. They're going around eating all kinds of natural stuff instead of them just kind of like programming them to eat some stuff they want them to eat. And now it's like you're eating the stuff. It's healthier when you get in there, and it's more expensive, obviously. But you see the steak in there for like 13. So you gotta go to the store to get like some steak and be out because like 13 for like a pound for one. Package or like 4 of them, but you're eating much healthier. Whereas ShopRite, it's good and all, you'll get your fill, but like Vanita said, that's why you're prone to eat more like food that's like more greasy, more regular, and you're gonna gain more of that fat. But again, alcohol, of course, tobacco, eating late at night, man, it'll help you gain a belly. And if you're gonna eat late at night, I mean, you probably have an idea for that. My advice is just do the bike a little, sweat a little before you go to sleep. Because if you're gonna eat, because let's just say like you can't, for some reason you can't keep like defeat the crave and you eat some sweets like at late at night, at least do something like with the bike a little, push ups, walk around the house, go out for a walk for a few minutes. It'll help you digest. What you don't want to do is eat sweets or like heavy and go to sleep. Oh man, it's a world of trouble. Trust me.
Yeah, no, we usually recommend, like for those that we work with, if they're able to, in the perfect world, to have that final meal like 60 to 90 minutes before bed, that again, it's still gonna be sitting in their system digesting throughout the night when they sleep, but it won't be as bad. So, and again, like I don't do that. Like I literally can slam back because I always have breakfast. Like I have breakfast, of course. I love breakfast. So I'll have breakfast in the morning. I'll have 10 eggs in the morning with like either pancakes or a bagel, and I'll do the same meal before I go to sleep. Not 10 whole eggs. It's like 2 whole eggs, and then the rest are egg whites. I just want to classify that. I don't. No one should be eating 10 whole. No one should be eating 10 whole eggs.
Your cholesterol will be through the roof.
But I'll do that literally right before I go to sleep. So I do go against my own word there. But like I have a knock on wood. Hopefully this never changes. But like my digestion is like insane. So I can personally
metabolism.
Other people can do that and they're wrecked. So you have to listen to your body in that regard. But the play it safe 60 to 90 minutes before bed is definitely ideal to have that last meal.
Excellent advice, guys. You hear that 60 to 90 minutes because it'll still be in your system, but it's not going to be as bad. If you literally eat a heavy meal and you go right to bed, that's going to be a whole nother story. You're going to wake up feeling the next day. It's not going to feel good.
Awesome, Danita. Glad we can help. Glad we can help.
Yeah, that's a good point and a good analogy. Like you said, probably have good metabolism, but also your digestive system. But you're also very active, so you got a lot of stuff. Again, everything kind of works out for you. Honestly, bro, I feel like I'm kind of blessed the same way because, I mean, over the years, I eat a lot of, not always, I'll be very good moderation, but I mean, I see a lot of sweets, I still do. And despite, because I'm 34 now, so I'm just a little older than Steve, a few years older than Steve. So it's like, usually men after 29, 30, you can develop a little belly if you're not active enough, but it's also water weight. So, I mean, I remember like I was complaining to one of my bodybuilding boys, and they looked at me like, nah, it's just water weight, man. They said it's called changing the gas. You do 3 runs, like 3 days in a row you run. And then, of course, they do like 2 rounds in a row, do some workout, your freaking six pack will be like, just as good. I mean, it's like, okay, I mean, you're 34 now, you're going to be cut. It's going to be a little harder to be cut up like you want to when you're 23 or 24, but it's nothing to worry about, it told me. They're like, that's nothing. It's just changing, they call that changing the oil, like in a car. Yeah. An analogy is hilarious. And some fighters told me. I took a picture of some fighters, man, a while back, and I was hoping because I wasn't in the best shape. I look pudgy and everybody's in shape, but I ended up looking pretty decent. I still had the lines and the six pack. When you do MMA or wrestling or fighting or boxing, you get those lines and you still see the shape. You just like you're like not out of shape, but it means that like literally 2 workouts and you're pretty much back there. You just gotta have like that frame line right here, the little bottom ones. That's the hard ones. So you want to run like I can run right now, or I can walk with Steve for 3-4 miles and I'll be back to that. But the trick is to do the next day and try to like eat healthy, drink water, digest. It's very important. Digesting is as important as it gets, right? You're dropping some very good gems as far as nutrition right now.
Yeah, I'm glad I can help.
Stress management too, I'm sure. That's one thing that doesn't get talked about enough. I feel like when it comes to your nutrition, going to the gym, and then also your nutrition and your health, I feel like what causes a lot of people to eat unhealthy and overeat and things like that, your stress. I'm sure you can probably definitely relate to that.
Dude, that's honestly one of the biggest things, man, that we literally deal with our clients. Like I always like, and again, like when I have my sales calls with like people that are like, reaching out potentially for coaching, the majority of the call, of course, is like talking to them about like the workouts and of course the dieting side of things. But like one point that I always bring up, I'm like, hey, like we're going to focus on lifestyle side of things too. We call it like our lifestyle integration phase. Just because with stress and sleep, man, if sleep's crappy and stress levels are through the roof, like I hate to break it to you, but nothing you're going to do is going to like workout wise, diet wise is going to have a benefit when it comes to losing weight. Just because, and again, like not getting too into detail about this because like we can go on about this for hours, but cortisol. So cortisol is your body's natural stress hormone. So when you're super, super stressed, cortisol levels go through the roof, and that they also rise when you're not getting enough sleep. So that's going to bring upon your body just resisting change, and actually the natural response when your body kind of goes in that fight or flight mode in regards to when cortisol levels go through the roof, especially when you're chronically stressed, is to gain weight. It's as crazy as it is going to happen, but your body just naturally starts gaining weight at that point. So we always preach stress. That's why it's like one of the biggest questions on our check-in form. I'm like, hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, where were your stress levels? And if the individual usually answers above like a 6, like, well, of course, when we do their check-ins, we'll reach out about like, hey, why are you stressed? What's going on? And I always tell people too, I'm like, we're not going to make a single change to your plan until the stress levels are down, because again, you're fighting a brick wall at that point. So it's such an underlooked thing, man. But it is, if your stress levels are so freaking high, I hate to break it to you, but you got to fix that first before you can do anything on the external side of things with the workouts, the diet, the cardio, all that fun stuff.
Facts, man. That's a gem right there. I feel like it's something that people don't talk about enough. I heard like the 4 pillars of like your lifestyle when it comes to your health. It's sleep, stress, your diet, and then your exercise. Those are the 4.
Dude,
right
it's the
there.
truth, man. It's funny, man, because we'll get a lot of people that, like, again, it's in COVID for sure, like totally wrecked this all. Just I feel like ever since, again, I don't want to go into politics and COVID and whatnot, but
Right.
just generally speaking, right? A lot of people were super stressed and still are. Like, there's still, of course, a lot of things going on right now. But dude, it's funny, man. Like when we kind of dig down deep with that, and I'm like, hey, like, I know there's, like, of course, some uncontrollable circumstances going on right now, but we have to spend some more time to get you to de-stress and kind of to focus on the positives when it comes to, of course, like, other aspects of life. It's crazy that once we get that person to that state, just the amazing progress they start making. And again, this comes from, like, again, the outside environmental things that are going on right now. It comes from, like, professional side of things with their workplaces. It comes from family stress potentially. Dude, everyone gets stressed about different stuff, but once we channel that stress and we're able to kind of go against it in a good way and keep that stress levels down, dude, it opens the gates, man. When it comes to
you're right, bro. It's all balanced, bro. But like you said, it's like between, like, it's almost like your I call it the, not to get too again too deep over there, but like, you don't have to call it the kundalini. You got the chakras and all that. When you try to keep everything clean, bro, and you meditate a little bit, meditating, it doesn't have to be meditating for you to get results in the gym, but that helps. Again, like, I do yoga, I feel like the day starts much better. That breakfast you're talking about tastes much better when you do some yoga, some stretching, bro. Possibly swim in a pool, and even swimming helps you lose weight. But I mean, now you're exercising regularly, whereas your work balance life feels better, and then just the stress, bro. It just comes down to, like, everything, what you're going through mentally, emotionally, basically, spiritually, or with your heart, sometimes physically, like you might have an injury in your leg, it makes you feel down. You're not going to gym, you miss the gym, but you also slack.
Yeah.
And me and Steve did an episode about 7 or 8 ago, I want to say, maybe more, maybe 8 ago, about what kills productivity, and basically slacking, like what causes more, like slacking, and what's that word I'm looking for? Procrastinating, and basically procrastinating, buzz, and productivity, sort of like, motivational kill. You don't feel as motivated. You feel like the productivity is not there. You feel lazy. Sometimes I have those days. Now I don't know. It's because some people like, oh, it's your sign because you're Gemini. I think sometimes I need to have those days where I don't feel like I'm trying to do it, but I need to get up and do it. And that's the hardest part, to get up, because when you're not getting up, bro, once you go to the gym, you feel like you're good now. You already passed that.
No, man, it's the truth. It really is. It really is. So,
absolutely. So some of the things I like to do, if I'm feeling stressed, especially, waking up in the morning, just like real quick, like 5 minutes, meditate. There's apps where you can literally just use to meditate, journal your thoughts down, how you're feeling, stretch, and then one of the most important things, drink water as soon as you wake up. It's one of the most important
it's the truth, man. Like, I always laugh too, because I had like maybe a 2-week phase in my life that I was trying to do like morning habits. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ed Milet. Yeah, dude. So I'm a huge Ed Milet fan. So I of course, like, I look up to these guys. I'm like, all right, I'm going to emulate this guy in regards to what he's doing in the morning. Because if I do what he's doing, he's so successful, I'm going to, follow through with that. So I did, like, the glass next to the bed first thing in the morning. You're going to chug that, and then you're going to get up and do a cold shower, and then you're going to meditate. I did it for 2 weeks. Like, don't get me wrong, I felt great, but I'm like, I cannot freaking sustain
it. That's the key. I don't do all those things every day either. That's the thing. It's not every day. It's like, you got to really think, is this going to be sustainable every single day? It's like,
that's the thing, man. I'm like,
a ritual. It's like a routine. I mean, not every day, but at least, if you do it once or twice a week, meditate, work out. I mean, I usually get up, I try to do some push-ups, stretch it out, cold shower. But yeah, I mean, it's hard. Yeah, Steve is right. It's kind of hard.
That's the thing, man. You got to find what works. I just honestly reverted to walking my dog around the block. I'm like, screw it. It's nice in the morning. I'm like, I'm just gonna go take my dog for a walk. That to me is kind of like, I would say it's not meditation, but it's like my alone time, right? It's my time to collect my thoughts for the day. But yeah, that worked out. But I was cracking up, man. I'm like, I give these people credit too, because like I even like hired like a meditating coach. Like, she was like a wellness coach, and she was going to help me with like channeling my inner self, right? Because I really wanted to get into that. I was like, I think this is cool. Like, because again, like, dude, like, owning a business is very stressful at times, and I'm like, this will be nice for me to de-stress a little bit in other ways than going to the gym. But yeah, I could, dude, for the life of me, could not get into it. So
yeah,
I was so distracted, man. My mind, like, she was like doing all these crazy things, and I'm like, my mind's running in a million different directions. We tried yoga. Like, I am so freaking not flexible at all, so I can't do any of these stretches. Oh, dude, it was interesting, man. Interesting.
I'll tell you, bro.
Hey, man, you find what works for you, and then I feel like morning habits become they're more sustainable when it's something you thoroughly enjoy. So if it's going out and walking your dog in the morning or something like that, if that's what it takes to be sustainable, man, and that's something you enjoy doing, hey, That's what works.
It works, bro. My dog enjoys it, so it's a win-win.
Yes, sir.
Exactly. That's awesome, man.
That's too funny.
Awesome stuff, man. I think we're almost coming up on the hour mark. We usually try to keep them to an hour, but I'm like, man, that was really insightful, man. I you answered a couple questions here too, which is always beneficial.
Yeah, this was a blast, man. This was probably the quickest hour of my life.
I know, man. When you're engaged, dude.
Guys, real quick. Also, I also want Matt to hear this too. So that's night, right? This is a guy named Jake Shannon that he's friends with Coach Dan Carnegie, Steve. You know, our friend Dan. There's this guy named Jake Shannon. I met him once or twice. He's like a wrestling coach, martial artist. He's been mentioned. He's never been, but he's been mentioned on the Jorgen podcast before, and he might very well at some point be there. So he's got a pretty cool podcast. He talks about everything from the meta world to actually, you know, like what is reality to like workouts and all that. He's the same thing, like working out in the morning, waking up with like a nice stretch, like a good night's sleep. Like you sleep early, get up early. Something about the day going better. But yesterday they're talking about something too. I think it was I forgot the word. The topic was I think it was like something about like people that like deceivers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like a deceiver, you know, something like, or swindlers, swindlers. And there's these what do you call it? What do you call it? Like when you're diagnosed like that, like apparently like there's a syndrome of a deceiver syndrome or something like that, or I forgot what he used the word, but it was pretty dope. I was looking, I was like, huh, you know, I was like, and I probably could reach out to him and bring him here sometime, you know, but it's actually a pretty good podcast. He talks about, again, a little bit of personal development, a little bit of like different syndromes, like the Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the butterfly effect, stuff like that, you know, just like outside, you know, out of the box thinking, very spiritual stuff, you know, very like, you know, philosophies of life, you know, phenomena, you know, something. If you look at Wikipedia, you'll say something, oh, this such and such is a phenomena, but it's something that, again, yeah, it's, you know, it's an occurrence, you know, it's
absolutely, man.
A phenomena occurrence, let's put it that way. Something, you know, that doesn't happen every day, but it's hard to explain, but science can't quite get it, but they have suggestions for that. And basically what I say this to say that, or say that to say this, that it's a good podcast, and he talks about some of the similar stuff you talk about, but I think if you check it out, and you as well, Steve, you probably might like it. I only checked it out first yesterday, the first episode, and I heard about it because I mean I'm affiliated with this guy. We're cool, you know. I follow one of my IG pages. I know he follows me, you know. But it's cool. I mean, he has some good stuff, and he does it more from home, and he does it where some people try to call or kind of set up like some questions, kind of how we do it here. So the format's pretty cool. It's always good to look at other podcasts to see how they do it and possibly, you know, network. Because I mean, I know the guy. I could probably bring him to ours, but it's all about networking too and being able to, you know, fit it in. But like obviously, we're happy to have you today, man, and we gotta bring you back, man. It's just too much stuff in 1 hour shot. We don't have enough time slots to.
I know, guys. Seriously, this was a blessing. When I was talking to Steven yesterday, I was like, this is freaking awesome, man. This is really, really neat. So I really appreciate you guys, you know, giving me the opportunity. Seriously.
Yeah, man. We love to give people the platform, especially guys especially people who are just, you know, like especially with personal development. A lot of people who are like entrepreneurs like yourself, man. Like you're somebody who you know. One of the biggest things is you used to work like I don't know the exact hours, but you know you would work like a 9-to-5 job, right? And, you know you were able to.
Who hasn't, bro?
Yeah, you were able to sustain this business enough to where you could, you know, quit that job and then be able to run this full time, man. So it's inspiring.
No, dude, it's again, man. It's been a ride, bro. But that's life, man. That's life. So.
Exactly. At the end of the day, you put your name on it. I think that's a lot of things people don't realize about like entrepreneurship. It's like they think that it's going to be like, oh, less hours and stuff like that. Oh, I can just be my own boss. It's like, yeah, but the one thing that comes with it is it's going to be
being your own
more
boss
hours. Well, more hours, yeah. When you're first starting out, especially before you're able to, you know, sustain enough where you can hire people, kind of like you, man. Now you got your own assistant coaches. Oh, one thing, before we end, man, I know we were talking right before we came on here, man. So you're kind of getting out of the coaching side, right? You're doing more of the overhead stuff now with your business.
Yeah. So I when I was building this up myself, right? I didn't know like where we can go with this. I'll be honest with you, because I don't know anyone else that's doing what I'm doing. So I really didn't have anyone to kind of guide me with that. So I was at one point like working with, I think it was like 189 people myself, like just alone, just, you know, me coaching everybody. And dude, I was honestly miserable. Like I hate saying that because I loved the opportunity to do that, but dude, I had no time at all. I would wake up every single day. I would be on my computer at 6 o'clock, and I sometimes didn't go to bed till like 2 in.the morning, just doing check-ins, program updates, program builds. Dude, I was like, no amount of money is gonna make me love this. Like it just wasn't fun. It sucked. I had no life. So again, like I was like just telling you, Steven, I found this guy. His name's Jason Phillips. He's pretty much built like, a business that I'm looking to build right now, but really scaled it, got a lot of assistant coaches and was able to kind of take a step back from it all. So I reached out to him and he kind of took me under his wing and he, pretty much told me on the phone, he was like, we're going to buy back your time. I was like, all right, man, like whatever the heck that means, we're going to, that sounds great. And he was like, it's funny too. Like, he was like, you're going to be doing less work. And he was like, you'll be able to ultimately make more money. He's like, you're going to be able to build your business by taking that step back and being able to do other things. So I was like, yeah, sure, man. Like this is, that's what you're selling me. Let's give it a try. And yeah, dude, we got the point. The first thing he, had me do, he's like, you're going to bring on assistant coaches. So I hired my first assistant coach. He's working for me now full time, which is a blessing. His name's Mike, a phenomenal guy. He does a phenomenal job. So we brought him on. My wife, Taylor, she's actually one of our assistant coaches too. So she works with a lot of our females. And she's actually going to be leaving her full-time job as a nurse to kind of take the leap of faith to work more with me, which is exciting. And then we brought on this other guy named Andrew. He's freaking phenomenal too. And we're actually going to be bringing on another coach fairly soon as well. So it's been fun, man, just kind of giving them, the clients and having clients being able to trust them. But like I was telling you, Steven, taking the step back and being able to focus more on the business stuff and not necessarily being in with all the clients anymore. So I gave a lot of clients away to my assistant coaches to kind of fill their books. And I kind of told myself I'm not going to take on more than 65, just because, that's, what I can realistically do and be able to do the other things that come with the business, man. But dude, it's been pretty crazy, man. Just like I said, I was telling you, being able to have some time to kind of enjoy life again and not always be working. So.
And love what you're doing, man. And that's the most important part, right? When you're in business, because when you're fulfilled in what you're doing, you love what you do. That's honestly when the money comes. Is like when you do what you love and you're in it for the right reasons. That's awesome. That's you.
That's what we always say, dude. We always say like impact over income. Like that's like I always tell my team that. I'm like, if we live by this, because that's honestly, dude, that's it, man. Like I said, I never thought I would be in this position, but like once I started helping people, man, I was like, I fulfilled, and that filled my cup. And I'm like, dude, at the end of the day, man, like
fulfillment for you, right? It's kind of like what you're probably like. I mean, be more likely to feel like this is your life goal. I mean, I feel the same way, bro. When you find your calling, bro, it's like something you want to do, and if you can make money and structure it, I mean, hey, man, you're doing good things, bro. I mean, that's what's up, bro.
Yeah, dude, it's a blessing, man. Like I said, dude, like you should have said too, Steven. Like, if you go after that impact, if you go after it for the right reasons, the money follows. So
exactly,
it's a fun ride.
Props to you, man. And now you're gonna be able to, have your wife on board with you too, man. So there you go. It's like the business integrated with your family. That's awesome. And at the same time, even with business, your business is in health and fitness. So that's a pillar, right? Relationship, health, business. You kind of got it all in one, man. That's great, dude. Props to you for the leap.
I'm trying, man. Thank you so much, guys. Seriously. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Definitely, man. So as of right now, bro, like you pretty much have a good point. Now you basically got like a brand business and you're just looking to expand now, right? Like you have some coaches on deck.
Yeah, so I mean, I will never not coach people. Like it's pretty funny. Like Jason, the guy that's helping me, he was like, "Hey, dude," he was like, "We just want to get you down to 15 clients." I'm like, "Absolutely not. Like I can't do that, dude. I need to talk to people. Like I love helping people." So again, that's why I said my cap's 65 people that I'm going to keep like locked in with me. But it's just a matter of just keep growing the team, keep getting assistant coaches on the team, and being able to, of course, disperse like the new clients out to them. But it's really my main goal right now is just to continue to be the face of the business, the face of the brand, and just keep pumping out content. So that's the biggest and best thing.
Oh, that's good, awesome. Man. Yeah, that's awesome. That's a little almost like the mission you guys have. The idea, ideology, mission statement, or like what the objective is. Because actually, and Steve knows a little about this as well. So the guys talking about Coach Dan Carnegie, we have a friend of ours named AJ who does something similar, bro, and he's some kind of personal trainer, but he does it like somewhere like in the Ben Salem area. And he's like, I think kind of on his own, but when we kind of start going up a gym, he's going to be like the main guy teaching stuff at our gym. He's going to be like basically kind of like you, a personal instructor, fitness type of guru and an expert and more like a coach. But I don't think he does too much online, although he does some, I know he meets people online and he sets up programs, but usually they do it virtually once. They usually do it like by the park. Like he'll meet up with them, but so he doesn't have quite that kind of business, but very big into the stuff, very knowledgeable. I just spoke to him recently because we had a couple of meetings for, like the business which is growing. He's kind of like in the same organization that I'm in, which kind of like, start MMA gym and have some people in there that kind of are taking care of the bodybuilders, the lifters, because because we want to combine all the disciplines of sport. Like whether you're a weightlifter, a lifter, a bodybuilder, a strongman, just the kind of guy that pushes the tire. We want to bring you in there to to work with different things, or you're just an exerciser, a guy that's thin and like a little like slender, but got like muscles and you shape, nice muscles and all. You feel like you can lift, you can run. We bring you along, and it's an athletic, a triathlons of athletics thing. And then we have the combat sports, which is a whole other universe. The combat sports are purely, just combat sports, like everything from Muay Thai to kickboxing, karate to jiu-jitsu to MMA. And all those guys gotta be in shape. So a guy like you could be kind of be hired as a nutritionist coach, a coach to lose weight because you did wrestle, so you have a little bit of that background, and like a physical training coach, With this kind of jobs we can easy from a therapist to a coach, he helps, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Remember the trainers in wrestling that could help you, like if you bring like a broken wrist or a broken finger, they'll help you like, okay, do this, put ice.
Yeah, dude, it's a jack of all trades, man. It really is.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's very fascinating.
Jack of all trades.
Definitely is. Yes, guys, if you ever want to see like motivational great content on Instagram, you can follow Matt. Man, what's your Instagram handle?
Put the Instagram up here so we know it.
That's Matt Lee Fit, MattLeefit.
Cool. I just started following just now, Matt. I had seen your videos a little before today because Steve had told me, but I just actually followed you and sent DM, so you'll see me.
Dude, I'll give it anyone that follows me. I always return the follow back. So
that's cool, man. That's cool. Yeah, definitely. You're a humble coach, a cool coach, man. But people only kind of find out like that because they see you, so then they might follow you, and even if you don't follow them back, they'll see what you're doing. So it's curious. It's called increasing high value. It's like high frequency. Actually, people don't know about this. It's really some deep talk, but basically, post a picture. Even if you don't do shit, you could be a guy that doesn't do anything. You post a cool picture, you're gonna wonder. You capture attention. Now you have time to, if you know what you're doing, you can pursue to join your cause, your business, or if you're just doing it just for likes and views, and people just think, oh, well, this guy he posts a lot, but some people do it too, but I mean, use everything to our advantage. So I mean, social media, it's the following is there, the growing is there. My account's growing too, bro. I'll send you anybody to work with, bro, and work out. I'll be like, yo, I got a guy, I got you, I got the guy AJ. I know at least 5 guys, but you're my biggest guy, so
Dude, it's a beautiful thing, man. Beautiful thing.
Like I said, networking and growing is definitely a very nice, decent thing to do, man. It's a beautiful thing. It's so much variety. I love it, man. I like the energy. I like the stuff. Me and Steve are somewhat of gym. I don't know if I'll say gym rats, but definitely gymaholics a little bit. I mean, you can say I guess we are a little.
Hey, man, you take a step in the gym, man. You're in the right spot.
You're in the right spot. That's the ultimate. Get it? If you're a gym rat, it's the ultimate red race, but it's actually a race, not a race. It's like a finish line race, and everybody does their own time, bro. Because if I do something big, I want to help the next guy, man. I'm like, yo, guys, I did like this. I was doing the barbaric way. They had me hanging on a thing and doing pull-ups and stuff at night, and in the cold weather and in the rain. But it creates discipline and balance, and it makes you like want to go. If you can do it in the rain in those kind of weathers, imagine you just it's like wrestling. You don't want to do it, you hate it, but now you're glad that it kind of happened. I used to hate every minute, bro. Oh my god, the wrestling. Going in and getting thrown around, especially when you're new and you're not as good and you get beat up so much.
Yeah, dude, it's the truth, man.
But it's
the truth. It teaches you learn some life lessons pretty quickly.
You do.
Yeah.
One thing about workouts is like you might not always like the process of going. The endorphin rush you get after a good workout and like the pump if you're a strength trainer or weight training, the pump that you get afterwards. Oh yeah, it makes it all worth it. Makes it all worth it.
There's nothing like it, man. There's literally nothing like it. So
really isn't.
Great stuff, guys. Well, I mean, I'm not sure if you got some stuff to say, it's all good, Matt and Steve. If you want to add something, but we're being a little over an hour, 15 minutes. We could kind of, if you guys want to, slowly close it down. But I'm in no hurry because this is a great episode. I'm having fun with this. I'm just listening.
I appreciate it, guys. I really do appreciate the opportunity, man. This was a freaking blast.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I just want to thank you for coming on, Matt. Was this your second podcast? You said you've ever been on second one?
Yeah, this is my second podcast.
Oh, man. Really? Oh. With the honor,
I can talk all day. Like literally, I think the YouTube days has allowed me to just talk freely on.
You're more confident to speak, and you know what to do. You kind of understand the formatting of things. Because what's the big difference in a podcast and just doing some blogs or speaking to YouTube on your personal video? It's not a huge difference. I mean, if you really think about it, you break it down to the essence of it. Yeah. Podcast is like a way of connecting with live, and you have a following now. So, and again, something I want to say earlier, I didn't say. You guys were talking about the quarantine and how people are still in, and something Steve started. Steve said it best that social media has been improving things and helping grow business and brands. And you basically have a voice for the last 10 years, even before, but 11 years, be growing. But in the last 2 years, because of COVID, people are really doing it even more differently. More podcasts, people are figuring out ways to make money. It's becoming easier even because social media, there was always the social media thing, but it's like in the last 2 years, there's more features. I mean, TikTok got even more popular, but TikTok was around for 6 years. It's just that no one really, apparently no one give a damn until about 2020. It became more useful he served a purpose, and then boom, took off. It's like,
Yep. No, man, it's the truth, dude.
a new wave. I'm telling you, I used to not think it was nothing great, but you can watch videos, you can really connect with people. It gives you other people to follow, even if you don't want to follow a lot of people, but it gives you perspectives to watch. So I think it's a good idea. I mean, I used to kind of be one of those guys, bro. What the fuck you watching? Oh, come on, that's a kitchen. I ain't doing all that. I was a guy a year ago. I'm a changed man for sure now. I'm not, I'm more like, okay, you know what? It might actually help. It might be something you can actually gain from. It's a combination of YouTube and Facebook in a way. I'm sorry, YouTube and IG.
Yep.
Facebook. I mean, it's just it's just one of those things. But I'm like, yeah, man. I mean, you can always learn, and you still got to stay open-minded. This day and age has taught us to stay open-minded.
Yeah, dude, it's key, man. It absolutely is key.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I guess we could pretty much wrap up, but I do want to thank you for coming on again, Matt. And also, out of curiosity, for anybody out there, do you have any slots open right now for coaching, or are you kind of booked up at your 65 right now?
Dude, I have personally 2 slots open myself, but the rest, my assistant coaches, like I said, man, are great. Absolutely great. So I trust them. If anyone is interested in working with myself, like I said, there are some slots open. But if anyone, like I said, is willing to work with my assistant coaches, it's all about vibes, right? Like again, because we talk to a lot of different people. So if someone I feel like is not a good fit for me, but would vibe well with one of my ACs, I refer them to that individual, right? That's like the power of being able to have a team now. Just because, like I said, man, there's some people that I'm a very high energy guy. I mean, I don't know if I sound that on the podcast today, but when I do my check-ins with my clients, like I definitely provide some energy, to kind of pump them up. But like Mike, for example, my other assistant coach, dude, that guy brings even more energy than I do. And some people don't vibe with that. So some people are like, hey man, like this kid's freaking wild. But I mean, I love him to death. But again, it's all about the vibe. So it's the cool thing with the team. So we just have a lot of different people here. But at the end of the day, man, they're all phenomenal people that I know can change some serious lives. So
very well said, man. So guys, if you're ever interested in like online coaching, anything like that, reach out to Matt on Instagram. Even if you can't sign up exactly with him, he's got great assistant coaches, as you can tell. So whether you're a male, female, reach out to Matt. Matt'll help you out. He'll direct you in the right direction.
Trying to get the promo here, but yeah, definitely, guys, it's good stuff. And Matt definitely knows what he's talking about. Got good experience, got a lot of his belts, so you guys will be very very well taken care of in good hands. And sometimes when you need somebody like to kind of push you a little, but not make it seem like a job, more like or a chore, more like a decision, but just a motivation. Come on, let's go. Yeah. Sometimes you want to stay in, but I get it. I mean, sometimes it's very hot. It's the best thing to start, stay in for a second, until it gets cooler. But then again, it gets cool at night. Go for a run, go for a walk, do some push-ups. I mean, I brought weights to work one day. And
Bill commented in. He said, drop the Insta one more time.
Bill, it is Matt Lee Fit. MattLeeFit.
Simple.
Matt Lee Fit. Simple, easy.
Yeah, it's pretty basic.
Yeah, Bill, I'll take your comment off. Yeah, literally, you see Matt's name right there. Just add fit to it.
Yeah, dude, that literally is it, man. Literally is it.
Real simple.
So.
Hey, Matt, it's so funny, right? There was there's this guy named Matt Lee, actually, he's a UFC MMA fighter who fought. So you guys, I mean, I know Steve knows. I'm pretty sure you know Eddie Alvarez, the UFC fighter from Philly. Yep. He fought a guy named Matt Lee, this Korean guy back in the day. Funny thing is, I seen a fight, and what's there, Steve? Jorge Masvidal fought there too. He won by head kick. But Matt Lee had beat Eddie's trainer called a guy named Steve Hayes. So who used to run the Fight Factory back in the day. So it's like kind of like you be my coach, I fought you and I beat you. And it was a good fight, dude. The Matt Lee guy could bang, but Eddie was just really good, and Eddie beat him by decision. I was 19 at the time, and I got pictures of the night. It was crazy. So I was like, oh, Matt Lee, wait, the MMA fighter? Like, well, now
we're bringing this guy on.
Yeah, he's one of the old fighters. He had a pretty decent record back in the day, but don't think he ever fought in the UFC. But Eddie ended up going to UFC and even becoming a champion, obviously. And everybody, including McGregor.
Absolutely. He's a freaking machine, man.
Yeah, Eddie definitely is. I mean, Eddie also, used to show some good cardio guys. And that's the thing. A lot of these guys in MMA, bro, as you already know, because you're pretty familiar with stuff, Matt. These guys are training with like guys like yourself, like somebody like they have a guy like you, a guy like you be like very important in a team of fight, like a nutritionist, a guy that like help you lose more parts of the weight, a guy that can help you gain weight, or no, because here's the thing. Losing weight, cutting weight are two different things. They're similar, but cutting weight is not losing weight. And you kind of know how to do both. So that's your edge.
Well, dude, we
both do even better because you've done it for more clients. So
yeah. We actually have two pretty well-known, I don't want to say well-known fighters on the team, but they compete competitively in fighting, man. And it's pretty crazy just because like it is so much more hands-on working with those individuals than just a regular lifestyle client, right? Like I actually have to communicate with their team weekly to see what days are going to be like their higher, I would say, like training day. And again, I don't know the right verb terms at all when it comes to this side of things, but like we have to like see what days they're going to be doing X, Y, and Z for training, just because on those days I need to put more carbs in their diet. And the days that they are, it's a little bit of a carb cycle, but it's insane, man. Just the amount of like calorie expenditure that these fighters go through, especially at that level, dude. Like the high hand level, dude. These guys are working
right. The elite level, bro. Here. And elite, you're basically like saying this is. I mean, not to cut short, bro, but this is elite nutrition stuff. You're saying so. It's actually very important stuff, guys. They hear this. This is like this is amazing.
It's freaking crazy, man. Like I said, those professionals, dude, they're working with like some top tier nutritionists, man, that go into this. Just because, again, I'm very confident in the knowledge that I do know, but like I can tell you, like humbly, I do not know enough to work with those individuals. Like it is crazy.
It's another level for sure.
Yeah, it is. And again, for the fact that they need to make weight, like that's a whole nother freaking process. And
stay shape, right? Because they don't want to get too out of shape during they always got camps, but even if they don't got camps, there's training other guys. They don't get too out of shape, and then kind of like lose it all. So you kind of got to help them out. You're like between the guys that are like the top nutritionists they're working with to make weight, and the guys that are trying to stay making shape. You're like somewhere, I guess. If I have to rank this, you'd be somewhere in the middle there. Like they're probably like fighters be like, "Yo, this guy man Lee's gonna help me lose a little weight." Woo woo. They get you in, call you, go in there, do some session, you make some money. That's how it goes. But I mean, no, really, bro. I mean, and I can speak from our experience. I met guys like you that do help out with fighters. They've got like clients and all that. And for small things, and again, sometimes they use them as their main. I mean, usually got like a main guy, and you're saying that humble yourself. You say like you're not necessarily the main guy, but you're somewhere in there. And again, you work some fighters, So
no, man, it's
crazy. Explains it all. Makes sense.
It's crazy. But yeah, I was like the first time I worked with a fighter, I just kind of gave him a generic type of plan. I was like, hey man, like I know you're looking to lose. And again, he told me too, he's like, I need to make weight. I have 10 pounds to lose. I'm like, dude, we can literally do a water cut, and like we'll get you there, and like no problem.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
But it's the thing, like he had his big fight. We were months out. I'm like, well, dude, I don't know what to do with all this time. And then that's when I kind of learned, like through experience. I'm like, holy crap, the amount of training that this individual was doing, I'm like, well, this requires so much more effort on nutrition to do, high carb days, low carb days, to implement different levels of fat in their diet. I was like, this is insane, the balance, the workload that goes into this. So it's freaking crazy, because I even watched that freaking like Conor McGregor documentary on Netflix years ago, and I'm like, dude, his like freaking nutritionist is like cooking all his freaking meals up for him every single day. I'm like, which is a beautiful thing. But I'm like, dude, you get to see the behind the scenes of what goes into that, man, on the nutritional side of things. It's freaking wild.
Right, exactly. The top guys, like he's getting top chefs, and he's getting cook good food. Like when he's showing off, he's not fighting, he's eating, a little more. Like he can kind of jump his guard a little to make the weight. He's getting guys that cooking them amazing food, with vegan foods that you're not going to get barely any pounds. Like this is like the most precise. So when you said that earlier about making the carbs more or this and that, I'm like, I really took it like to the mind. I'm like, yo, it's incredible. Like your stuff too, bro. I mean, I gotta say, man.
Dude, listen, man. I'm learning something new every day.
Those guys are using it because they're spending money, so they're getting the top of the top. I got you, man.
Yeah, dude, it's freaking crazy, man.
Freaking crazy. How goes on?
Freaking crazy.
Facts, man. What a pleasure, man. A lot of knowledge, a lot of gems dropped here tonight.
Yeah, that was a good episode, Steve. One of the best ones by far. And that goes, Matt is right there right now, but just because, like, it really was a very informative. We hope you guys enjoyed it. We definitely could bring you guys some stuff, perspectives and all, but we got like experts like Matt that know they're talking about it, bring you guys in, It's just, it can just only help. So, I mean, if anybody out there is looking to book my man Matt here, he already dropped his IG, his Facebook, right? You have a Facebook, Matt, right?
Yeah, it's honestly, dude, the Facebook says Matt Lee.
Just Matt Lee, okay. Yeah, I'll probably find you in there too. Yeah, I mean, mine is just George Metra, and then Steve, obviously, just like the regular name. We don't really change the names too much. IG's for getting a different name.
Yeah, man, IG's for the nicknames.
Facts. Man, well, it was an absolute pleasure having you on, man, dude. In the future, maybe possibly, or dude, maybe I'll come to you for some coaching or something like that too, man. I'm
gonna have to reach out to you, bro, because I got fights coming up. I got to lose weight, so you definitely are on the list. I call you, bro.
Man, I appreciate it, guys. I'm always happy to help out any way that I possibly can.
Absolutely, man. Well, dude, we'll definitely bring you back in the future, man. But
cool.
Dude, thank you so much, man. And if we just wrap it up here, guys, man, just Matt. Have a great night, man. It was a blast.
Guys, you as well. Thank you again. Thank you so much for the opportunity, guys.
No problem, man.
Take care, man.
Take care, guys.
Peace.
All right. Still in the mix.